So the next thing we're going to talk about are absolute value equations. These are and statements or statements if we talk about the inequality aspect of it, but let's just focus on the equations themselves for right now. So the first thing we have is we have the absolute value of x is equal to 8, which is number 61. If we're going to solve something like this, you need to remember that there are two solutions, because remember absolute value is a distance from 0, and there are two numbers with a distance of 8 from 0. And you know what those numbers are. Those numbers are 8. 8 is 8 away from 0, so if I add a number line, here's 0, and I count 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is 8 away. Hope that's 8. And then if I count the other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we know that point is at -8, and -8 is our other solution, because we know if we plug either of those values in, we will get that answer. Now, that's the first type of absolute value equation that you're going to look at. Let's look at 68 now. We have 3 absolute value of 2x minus 1 is 21. Now, the 3 is multiplying that absolute value. When you do absolute value equations, you need to isolate the absolute value on one side and have all of the numbers to the other side and variables if you need to or if possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide by 3. This leaves us with 2x minus 1 is equal to, I'm sorry, the absolute value of 2x minus 1 is equal to 7. Okay. Now, this is that isolation I was talking about. Notice the absolute value is the only thing on the left side and the number is on the right. So, what do? We set up two equations. 2x minus 1 is equal to 7. We write the original. And then we write 2x minus 1 is equal to -7. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and solve these. Plus 1. 2x is equal to 8, divide by 2, divide by 2, x is equal to 4. We add 1, 2x is equal to -6, and now we have x is equal to -3. Can you shut that window? And this is going to be our two solutions to this. And obviously you can check them by plugging them in. So that's the first thing. Now, what about if we had the following? Absolute value of x is equal to -6. What number is -6 away from 0? Well, or a distance of -6. There are no numbers with negative distance, right? If I walk to the left 6 feet, you would say that I walked 6 feet. If I walked to the right 6 feet, you wouldn't say that I went -6 feet from the other direction that I went. The negative would just describe the direction I was going, and that's how vectors work. They kind of tell you the direction of the thing. But since we're not talking about distance in that format, we do not have a negative distance. This answer would be no solution. So if you ever have the case where you get a negative equal to a negative, if you have the absolute value equal to a negative, it's always going to be no solution to that. Okay. So let's keep going. We're going to do these last two. We have 2 absolute value of 4 minus 5 over 2x plus 6 is equal to 18. First job, this is 71. First job is to isolate the variables. So, or I'm sorry, the absolute value. -6, -6. You can divide the 2 first, but if you do that, you need to divide the 6 by the 2 as well. That's why I never do that. That's why I combine the numbers that are separate and being added and subtracted first. So if we have 2, 4 minus 5 over 2x is 12. Divide by, that's not a 2. Divide by 2, I was going to write 6, which is the other side. So we have 4 minus 5 over 2x is 6, absolute value. Okay, we write our two equations. That's how we get rid of absolute value signs. 6 and 4 minus 5 over 2x is equal to -6. And then we minus 4. -5 half x is equal to 2. And I'm going to do this side as well. -5 half x is equal to -10. Let's multiply both sides by 2. I didn't write the 2 over here. So this cancels with this. That's negative 5x is equal to 4. Cancel, cancel. Negative 5x is equal to negative 20. And we divide by negative 5. We have x is equal to negative 4 over 5. And negative 20 divided by negative 5 is 4. And there you have it. That's our solution for this one. Don't forget, guys, there's a student practice for this, so you guys can go ahead and look at that. But we're going to do one more, and then we will be moving on to whatever the next topic is. I don't remember. Oh, it's applications of linear equations. So we'll look at that here in a second. And I'm very proud of you guys. You're doing well on your testing and things like that. So keep doing a good job studying and doing whatever you're doing. Seems to be working. So keep it up. 3/4 x. Okay, from here we're going to subtract 7. We have 4. 1 minus 3/4 x is equal to 3. Divide by 4, divide by 4. 1 minus 3 over 4x is equal to 3/4. So far, so good. Since this is equal to a positive number, we can set up the two equations. We have 1 minus 3/4 x is equal to 3/4. And 1 minus 3/4 x is equal to negative 3/4. Alright, so let's do this. We got minus 1, minus 1. This is going to be negative 3/4 x is equal to negative 1/4. So times 4 times 4. Negative 3x is equal to negative 1. Divided by negative 3. X is 1/3. Okay, that's the first one. And then we go the other side. We have minus 1, minus 1. Negative 3/4 x is equal to negative 7/4. Remember, this is just 4 over 4, so that's how I'm doing this. And then we times 4. Negative 3x is equal to negative 7. Divided by negative 3. We have x is equal to 7/3. So our answers are 1/3 and 7/3. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing well.